On the South Carolina coast, there's an old saying among the people who live along Pawleys Island. It's been passed down for 200 years, repeated by grandmothers, fishermen, and longtime locals who've watched 100 storms roll in off the Atlantic. It goes like this: if you see the gray man, pack your bags, and leave. Because the gray man does not haunt this island to frighten anyone. He haunts it to save them. The legend of the gray man dates back hundreds of years, to 1822. He's a cloaked figure who roams the beach at Pawleys Island ahead of major storms that threaten the area. But to understand why he walks that beach, you have to go back to where it all began. The most common version of the story is a love story. A young man who had been at sea for a very long time was traveling from Charleston to see his fiancée, hoping to ask for her hand in marriage. He was so eager to see his beloved that, rather than waste one more precious moment apart from her, he decided to take a shortcut across marshland he had never traveled before. A shortcut through unfamiliar ground. In the dark. Alone, except for his horse, and his faithful manservant riding close behind. With his manservant riding a short distance behind, the eager young man and his horse suddenly came to a stop, and began sinking rapidly into a patch of deadly quicksand. His manservant could only watch in horror, powerless to help, as the young man and his horse disappeared completely into the mire. Gone. In minutes. Swallowed by ground that had looked, only moments before, perfectly solid. When the young woman learned of her fiancé's tragic death, she was heartbroken in a way that never fully healed. His ghost is said to continue walking the beaches of the island ever since, a ghostly figure providing warnings of foul weather, watching over the place he never reached in life. Some say he walks because he could not save himself that night, and so he spends eternity making sure no one else is caught unprepared by something they cannot see coming. This would simply be a sad old love story, if it had ended there. But the gray man did not remain in 1822. A woman claims to have seen the ghost before Hurricane Hazel struck in 1954. Another sighting happened just before Hurricane Hugo's devastating landfall in 1989. And the most recent confirmed appearance came ahead of Hurricane Florence in 2018. The story gained national attention just after Hurricane Hugo in 1989, when Pawleys Island residents Jim and Clara Moore were interviewed on the television show Unsolved Mysteries. They described what they saw on the beach in the hours before the storm hit, a figure, gray from head to toe, walking the dunes alone. Watching the water. They left the island that night. Their home was one of the few left standing after Hugo tore through the coast. For South Carolina historian Lee Brockington, who grew up hearing stories of the gray man around campfires on this very beach, the legend reflects something deeper than a ghost story, a kind of inherited survival instinct, passed down through generations who didn't have modern forecasting and relied instead on the warnings embedded in their own folklore. But this isn't just folklore anymore. On September 27, 1822, the region was struck by one of the most catastrophic hurricanes to ever hit South Carolina. The storm came ashore unnamed, devastating the coast, destroying homes, farms, and plantations throughout Horry and Georgetown counties. But local legend says one house was left completely untouched. All thanks to a ghost. And the sightings have continued well into the modern era. In 2023, during Tropical Storm Idalia, a homeowner's beach camera on Litchfield Beach near Pawleys Island captured a still image at 7:12 in the evening, appearing to show a shadowy gray figure walking along the surf and dunes as the storm moved in. No one was supposed to be out there. The beach had already been evacuated. One local fisherman, recounting his own experience near Moles Inlet, described heading out onto the water on a clear, calm afternoon. Nothing on the radar, nothing in the forecast. As he prepared to cast his line, he saw a figure standing on the shore, watching him. Gray. Still. Unmoving. Something about it made him turn the boat around immediately and head back to land. A few hours later, a violent, unexpected storm rolled in off the coast, pounding the inlet with wind and rain that seemed to come out of nowhere, defying the weather service's predictions. The fisherman believes, to this day, that the gray man appeared specifically to get him off the water before the storm hit. He has never ignored that feeling again. There are other versions of who the gray man might be. Some believe he is the spirit of Plowden Charles Gianneret Weston, a wealthy plantation heir born in 1819, raised at Laurel Hill, educated overseas, and tied to a home on the island now known as the Pelican Inn. Others insist he isn't any one man at all, but something older. Something tied to the land itself. A guardian the island created out of grief, 300 years ago, and never let go. Whatever, or whoever, he is, the warning never changes. So, if you ever find yourself walking the beach at Pawleys Island, and the wind shifts without warning, and the sky turns a color you don't trust, and out at the edge of your vision, near the dune line, you see a figure standing perfectly still, gray from head to foot, watching the water the way he has for 200 years. Don't wave. Don't walk closer. Don't ask him what he's trying to tell you. Just go home. Because every person who has seen him, and listened, is still here to tell the story.